When you're in the market for a full-size 7-seater SUV, there are a ton of options to choose from, except the prices make you want to shed a tear and pull all your hair out. And well, at the end of the day, you might not even be able to get all the options that you really desire from it after spending all that money, except with this thing right next to me. This is a 2026 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, and it might just give you almost everything. That's right, ladies and gents, we finally have a Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro on our driveway to review, and I can't be more excited about it. I've been driving and living with this thing for a week thanks to Toyota, and well, I'm here to tell you it is awesome. It's worth every bit of that $88,000 MSRP price tag, especially in this Wavemaker 2025 TRD Pro color that just pops and turns everyone's head, especially soccer moms in the HEB parking lot. And today we're gonna go and show you every little nook and cranny of this beast and see if it's the right choice of family SUV for you. This is no ordinary TRD Pro though, because it has the optional $2,300 TRD Performance Pack that comes with this TRD Performance badge, this TRD Premium Fuel sticker, these twin TRD air boxes, and most important of all, it comes with a TRD catback exhaust that sounds like this. Under the very blue hood of the Sequoia TRD Pro, we're faced with the good old iForce Max V6 twin-turbo powertrain, except this one makes a little bit more horsepower because of that TRD Performance Pack, as you can see with the twin intakes. So the hybrid V6 twin turbo with the TRD Performance tune makes an additional 29 horsepower on top of the 437 and 583 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, that's a lot of torque, although this thing is north of 6,000 pounds. But I'm here to tell you it does move, and it moves very well. It is a sub 6 second 0 to 60 car, which makes it hang with some bigwigs like the Raptor. That's pretty cool. Well, you might ask what kind of fuel economy this blue hybrid vehicle gets, and well, it's rated for a 19 city, 22 highway for a combined of 20, but I've yet to see those numbers myself. So what else do you get with a TRD Pro? Because as I mentioned, you get a lot. And let's start with this Heritage Grille, bold Toyota letters up front, and of course we have our tri-LED lights reminding you that this thing is wide as heck. We've got our front camera, of course, our safety Sense 2.5 system right there, and these self-leveling LED headlights with the sequential lights inside of them. The lighting on this car is beautiful, I love it. And additional side markers, because again, she's wide. We've got this textured TRD Pro Hallmark camo type over fenders. We have these aggressive hood pieces with TRD Pro inside of them, and of course you get these Falcon Wild Peak tires, and they're wrapping your BBS Force 18-inch wheels. These are indeed a 33-inch tire. Taking a look at the side profile, and we've got these aluminum TRD side rails that make it easier to get in and out of this monster. And on the TRD Pro model, you can get this very customizable roof rack that is very handy if you're planning on carrying kayaks or things like that with the family in this thing. And of course, the meat and potatoes underneath this thing are those bright red, very thick sway bars and Fox suspension on the TRD Pro, in addition to an aluminum skid plate underneath, so you can go over some tough terrain. This particular Sequoia is optioned with this $290 tow mirror package, and of course they extend very far out, and they are foldable for your convenience. In the back of the Sequoia, of course, we still got our sequential turn signals. The lighting on this car, as I mentioned, perfect. We've got the blacked out Sequoia badges and the Toyota badge up here, TRD Performance badge, of course, and reminding you that this is indeed the hybrid iForce Max powertrain. And well, we no longer, sadly, have a window that rolls down, but to put cargo back here and not have to open the whole lift gate. You can open this rear glass and access your trunk. But moment of silence for the nice rear window that gave you all that extra airflow with the family. Let's take a look at the amount of storage we get in the back of the Sequoia. And as I mentioned, this is a 7-seater SUV, full size. And well, the iForce Max starts showing one of its downsides right here, and it's the fact that that bump you see down there is because of the hybrid battery. And well, this is the solution that they came up with. You have this shelf that is removable, and well, without it, that would be your cargo floor. But with this in place, you would be able to retain a flat loading floor, and on top of that, you get a cubby down here with these adjustable pieces. And well, on an HEB run, I managed to get all my shelves of water bottles up here and all the bags down here. So all is okay in the world, but it is a little bit of a weird situation to get used to and live with. Let's go ahead and pop the third row seats up and see what level of a compromise we make if we're carrying all 7 passengers. And these are slightly reclined right now, and as you can see, it's not too bad. You still have this shelf up here and a little bit extra storage, or you can of course remove this and well, you can put small bags of items, but certainly not going to fit 7 people's luggage back here if you're planning on taking a long road trip in this thing with fully loaded passengers. But you do have that roof rack on top to help you with that. And of course, if you're wondering, this thing is still capable of towing just over 9,000 pounds, which is pretty impressive for a full-size family SUV. And this particular one has an $800 towing technology pack, which gives you the antennas and the camera for a wireless trailer camera. It's a pretty cool feature. Welcome to the interior of the TRD Pro Toyota Sequoia, and it is a great place to be. It is massive, just like its cousin, the Tundra, and it's practically the same interior with the third row, and it has all the same amenities, but a few additional TRD Pro stuff like your Toyota badges with red right underneath them. We've got the door panels with the red stitching, and of course, we've got these TRD Pro Softex camo seats that are of course heated and ventilated for your front row passengers. And you also have your memory buttons for the driver's side. Down below our instrument panel for our climate, we've got our trailer backup assist. We've got our camera button that, don't you worry, still shows you the car inside an egg when you're in park. Although we have a great camera system when you are not in park. So here's our front camera, rear camera, and of course our puddle cameras pointing at the wheels when you're going over crazy obstacles off-road. A lot of this stuff is super useful, especially this front one when you're looking up at the sky through your windshield. This comes to the rescue. On top of that, of course, we've got the 14-inch infotainment display, and it is super quick to use, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto enabled. We've got a JBL stereo system in this car that absolutely bumps. We've got just 5 speakers in the dashboard itself. So it gives you really good mid-range, and on top of that, we've got a subwoofer back there, so it gives you the bass as well. The steering wheel in the TRD Pro is unique because of this red racing stripe, perforated leather, and we've got the TRD badge underneath it. This is of course a heated steering wheel also. Just like the rest of the typical Toyotas, we've got our safety and assist, like our cruise control, keep lane assist on the right hand side, and our stereo and gauge cluster buttons on the left hand side of the wheel, except your volume button is on the left hand and track, skip, and mode is on the right hand, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but overall no complaints. Unfortunately, this thing is a performance model, but we do not get paddle shifters. What we do get is with this actual TRD shift knob, you do get a Tiptronic and sport transmission mode for our 10-speed transmission in the Tundra. That is pretty dang responsive, pretty impressive stuff from Toyota. The gauge cluster is practically the same thing you get in your typical Toyota Tundras, and of course it changes with your drive modes. You can select sport, normal and eco, and of course you have your tow modes. So of course this one is a TRD Pro, and here's our 4-wheel drive selector. We've got our 4 high, 4 low, and on top of that we've got our MTS and crawl control right next to it that assists you when you're going off-road a lot. This one of course has a locking electronic rear differential. Wouldn't be a TRD Pro without it. To the left side of the driver, of course, we have a slew of buttons and controls like your gas cap opener, your auto high beams, heated steering wheel, and of course, extra buttons for your tow mirrors and the TRD light bar. So as far as the storage in the cabin of the Sequoia, of course, we have this cubby right here where your wireless charger resides. This one is actually a pretty decent wireless charger. Charges your phone without burning the battery up. Couple of cup holders over here, and 2 in each of the door panels in this car. And we also have a massive center console with your coin holders, USB-A and USB-C, and a pass-through right here if you don't want to open it all the way up, and a little cubby right here for your paperwork and things like that. And with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the backseat space. Backseat of the Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, and I'm sitting on these comfy Softex TRD Pro leather seats, and well, I have plenty of room in this enormous SUV. Sitting behind my own seating position, I'm about 5'9", and I have well, loads of leg room, and I have a decent bit of headroom, although this one has the panoramic sunroof. I believe it's a $600 option, and it is a very welcome addition to this car. I can indeed recline and get a bit more headroom out this way. We do have a nice and comfy armrest for the captain chairs, and well, we do have our own climate zone back here, although these good looking seats aren't heated or ventilated for the second row, which is kind of a bummer. Down here we have a household style plug right next to our USB-C and USB-A, which is a common theme in this car because it did come out a few years ago. In addition to the vents down there, we also have vents up here next to this handy map light. And of course, in the second row of the Toyota Sequoia, we have our manual peasant blockers, so you can keep the sun out and be comfy back here. And speaking of getting comfy in this big 7-seater, I'm curious to see how that third row works. Let's go hop back there. So there are 2 ways to get in the back of the Sequoia. One, of course, is to walk in between these seats, or you can actually drop the seat like so. And let's go ahead and give it a shot and see how I fit back here. And well, when the seat comes back up, it is in the least reclined position, so I have a decent bit of leg room back here, but let's go ahead and recline it just a hair so it matches the other one, and it's still a very respectable amount of room back here. As you can see, I have a decent bit of room for my knees, and well, my head still fits decently well back here. And on top of that, these do recline with the button right here. And well, if you are a bit taller, that'll open up more legroom, although it steals a little bit from the already minuscule amount of room you have for cargo back there. But we do have more amenities back here. We got a USB-C over there. We do have vents for your rear passengers, map lights, double cup holders on each side, and we even have our own mini peasant blockers in the third row of the Toyota Sequoia. And to get out of the third row, there's a nice red tab over here that if you press, the seat tucks out of the way and helps me get out of here, because I cannot wait to get behind the wheel of this thing and show you how this behemoth drives. Driving the Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro in Wavemaker, and driving this thing is an absolute blast, especially with that TRD Performance Pack. The grunt coming from that V6 kind of actually reminds me of my 3rd gen 4Runner that's got exhaust on it, except it's much slower and doesn't have the turbo sound. And while this thing is an enormous car, it really doesn't shy away from corners and back roads. It still remains very comfortable and planted, although the body roll is for sure there, because this is somewhat of a long travel suspension. We're not even in sport mode, folks. That 10-speed, spot on. It bangs the shifts and it really gets this thing down the road. One thing about that roof rack, while it's very utilitarian, and they actually made it a lot lower profile than what was on the TRD Pro 4Runners, it still does give you a little bit of wind noise inside of the cabin. Although if you close that sunshade, you hear a bit less of it, but around 60-70 miles an hour, you hear a little bit of wind noise coming through there. I don't know how much of that exhaust note my mic is picking up, but this thing sounds awesome. I wouldn't buy one of these without that TRD Performance Pack. I mean, you're already spending decent money on one of these, you know, sub 90,000 right on there. So that 2,300 is money well spent. And you can get it on this, you can also get it on the Tundra TRD Pro. You just hear a slew of different turbo noises from those twin intakes, and of course the catback exhaust. Let's go ahead and pop it in sport mode. This thing's here to boogie. It practically is a Raptor SUV. I mean, Ford doesn't really make anything in that market, and there's really nothing as hardcore as this as far as full-size SUVs, family SUVs go. This thing is serious business, both in terms of off-road and in terms of performance, and that's what I meant by what I said. This thing almost gives you everything at the same time. A luxurious interior, tons of horsepower under the hood, but it doesn't just end there. It's not just a sporty luxury SUV. It is also a very serious off-road contender. Where it falls short a little bit, I'd say, is the storage space, especially if you are going to carry 7 passengers often. That trunk space is a little bit difficult to deal with on a long-term basis, but the third row is very comfortable. It is very usable, and so for city trips, perfectly fine with 7 passengers. Long road trips, you might want to have some sort of external storage solution. Other thing that I wish we had in this thing is paddle shifters. I mean, this thing has all the gizmos that you would get in a sporty SUV other than paddle shifters. The Tiptronic works well with the 10-speed, but like downshifts are pretty responsive. But I feel like paddle shifters would make the experience just that much better. And unfortunately, we got a whole week of rain and mud in Texas, so we didn't have the opportunity to take this beast off-road. But I can tell you this right now, it is loads of fun on pavement, and I can only imagine how much fun this would be off-road. Especially with this level of horsepower, some sort of a high-speed version of that, maybe a dirt road, or jumping up and down some dunes would be this car's forte for sure. Now, while this thing definitely gets up and goes, and that powertrain, along with the hybrid and the twin turbos, gives this thing insane pickup that we did not see in the V8 versions of the Sequoias. The fuel economy, unfortunately, is heavily affected by my right foot and my desire to keep wanting to push it to the floor. And well, I've been achieving some interesting numbers that EPA definitely did not report. But I gotta say, 90% of my drive in this thing has been around town. I really didn't do much highway driving in it. But especially with the fact that the TRD Performance does require you to use premium fuel, it does add up. And on top of that, Sequoias don't have the option for the extended fuel tank, so they do have a smaller fuel tank compared to the higher trim Tundras, and that means more frequent stops at the gas station. But all that being said, if you're looking for a full-size SUV that is, of course, based off of a pickup truck, and you're looking to haul and tow with it, I wouldn't look too far further than one of these, especially in this awesome Wavemaker color with the TRD Performance exhaust. On top of that, what you get with this is straight line performance and some serious off-road pedigree combined in one vehicle, and there aren't too many places that would give you that package in an SUV. There are a few high-performance pickup trucks on the market, of course, but not too many passenger SUVs that are going to go to both of those extremes. It's pretty impressive what Toyota did with the Sequoia TRD Pro. But now it's your turn to tell me what you think of this behemoth. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below about, would you buy a Sequoia TRD Pro, or for right around $88,000 as this one is equipped, what else would you buy? There's tons and tons of 7-seater SUVs on the market, whether it's off-roading or straight line speed or efficiency. There's definitely multiple choices in each of those categories. If you're not subscribed to Seize the Speed, I don't even know what to tell you. You're missing out. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button and stay tuned for more badass reviews like this one. Smash that thumbs up button for weekly uploads of some really cool cars to come. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace out, and I'm out.